we'll let Isaiah from City of Tshwane and Mathieu from the French Embassy. They will introduce this session, this 3-day session. So,
okay. Thank you, Alban. Let me know if I should go when you're ready.
I think, yeah. Isaiah and Mathieu, you can start when you want.
Okay, perfect. Matthew, do you mind if I go and then just to give
it's okay. Isaiah, you can begin.
Well, thank you very much. This is, for me, certainly very exciting. It was quite a journey to get to this point. But we've realized the importance of having this boot camp with our students. I think to the students connected herein, as well as representatives from the university, really want to thank you for your involvement, the journey, and the participation. We all know, even in the most recent speech from our president in February, State of the Nation address, he emphasized the importance of innovation. And quite often we see innovation in action, but I think this is really seeing it in action, where we form this partnership where students can really assist us as the City of Tshwane with our service delivery challenges. And I think to the students that responded, like I said earlier, thank you very much. The challenges that we're facing in the city, as citizens, you would experience it as well. The challenges are real, and therefore we welcome these innovative solutions. I think what I need to add with that as well, as part of the National Advisory Council on Innovation, we just completed an assessment of the state of innovation in public sector as well as TVET colleges, and we've identified quite a few gaps that we need to fill from an innovation point of view. One of the things that the minister raised very strongly was to say, when we get public sector to be more innovative, what are we doing with the 800,000 students that we have in TVET colleges? What about all the students that we have across campuses in South Africa? What role do they play to solve problems within public sector? And at the time, I said to some of my colleagues that this project will become a significant case study to answer that question from Minister Blade Nzimande. So I'm excited in terms of the solutions, what we've seen here. I'm more excited about the implementation thereof. Really, just in a nutshell, why Blue Ocean? If you look at across the landscape in South Africa, we have multiple incubators and technological incubators and the like, and many of them very successful. What I think we often struggle with is commercialization of some of our technologies, our innovation, implementing or turning those innovations into real businesses and business opportunities. What Blue Ocean Thinking does, and Alban, I thank you as well for participating in this and supporting the collective on this. It really helps us with new thinking, new route to market strategies, because I think quite often the challenge and the blockages is not within the technology. It's really for students to scale their solutions. And what I can commit from the City of Tshwane, we are here to open doors, and we'll certainly work and do our best to open our doors where we can actually pilot some of the solutions here. We will work with you to try and get the funding as long as we can solve these problems. I'm really happy that we have partnered with the French Embassy as well. And Matthew, you'll say a few words shortly, but your sponsorship for the Blue Ocean team to be here is really quite a significant milestone. And I believe it's the first of many interactions, not only at a bootcamp level. Already we touched base on Alban to say, perhaps at the city level, we now need to look into the Blue City concept. So thank you for igniting this with us. I also just want to really thank all our partners for the journey to get us to this point. Since we launched in November last year, almost going on a year now, so much has happened. even within the COVID-19 space, but the progress was there. Specifically as well to the Tshwane team, Tato Shuping, Sipo Ngasana, as well as Murungwe. Really thank you guys for pushing this. We are not there yet. I would say we would have arrived when once we've announced the winners, we piloted and incubated some of the solutions, and we can prove there's an impact in the city, and we have citizens coming and say, thank you for implementing these innovations. I thank you very much. Matthew.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Alban. Dear students, dear colleagues, dear representative of the City of Tshwane, dear university representative as well. I have to say that I'm very happy to be able to participate in this launch of the Inter-University Innovation Challenge Bootcamp. I could say that supporting the link between science and innovation is a really a major priority of the cooperation that the French Embassy wishes to implement with South African partners. And this initiative is, in my opinion, a perfect example of the actions that animate and support the creation of a bridge between the scientific sphere and the development of new solutions associated with the concrete needs of our society. So we are waiting for you, students, about the solutions that you will find in the next few weeks. And I think, of course, this bootcamp will be a support for that. The support that we are bringing, and we are providing today through this bootcamp is a first step, as you say, mentioned, Isaiah, in the actions that will be implemented in the French Embassy in the framework of this Inter-University Challenge Innovation Challenge. In particular, I'm delighted to see INSEAD and HEC, two of France's leading business schools, recognized worldwide, participating in this project. It shows the quality of this initiative, Isaiah, and I would like to thank you for that. It's the first time that I can see a city try to build a dedicated program with the university, and I think it's a good way to work, but it's another way. And I would like to thank all the partners involved, of course, in this project. There is a lot of partners for the confidence you have placed in us. We are very proud to be part of this program and to support it. I think now the next step is to see you in 2021 at the Résidence de France for the BlueScore Awards. And thank you so much. I hope these 3 next days will be useful and will be a very next step for the cooperation between France and South Africa in the innovation field. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Mathieu, for your words, your kind words, and totally agree with you. It will be a big challenge, especially at first for the students, for all these teams you have in your very nice, very motivating inter-university challenge. And it will be also a very big event, very big meeting. We would like to have a very important, maybe not big in terms of participants because of the COVID, but maybe very impactful in the February 2021 for the launch of the first South African BlueScore Award. So it will be an important step, we think. Let's start directly here about this. We were talking, Mathieu and Isaiah were referring to the BlueScore Awards. What is BlueScore Awards? What is BlueScore strategy? We'll try to answer this question in some words about BlueScore Awards. Here, you need to know that it's an event created in France by the HEC Business School and the French Ministry for the Economy. It was created in 2014, and it's an event dedicated to market creation. in this event, we put on the stage all the startups and companies able to create new markets, and especially following this blue ocean strategy mindset. Blue ocean strategy, as Mathieu has mentioned, was created in the INSEAD by Chan Kim, the two professors Chan Kim and René Mauborgne. Here you have a quotation here, a quote from René Mauborgne, one of the two writers of the Blue Ocean Strategy and teacher and creator of this strategy. Here you can see some, maybe it's mostly French companies, but they had a very big impact. They had a very big development, very fast. Maybe you know some of them. You can see here the value before and after they were detected by Blue Ocean Awards, and they have conducted this Blue Ocean strategy. It has made them become very bigger, very strong companies. You can see we cover any industries, products, services, B2C, B2B. Blue Ocean strategy, it's not about one industry, it's about your strategy, innovation strategy and business strategy to move from one industry where all is red, where the competition is very strong, to another market space you need to create where you will be the first, you will be firstly alone, and you will find a new value, a new growth. I wanted to start with at the beginning, from the beginning, with examples. Wanted to share with you this. Maybe, yeah, okay. I will. So yeah, sorry, the noise, the audio is cut. Here you will see on this video. It's from 2018 edition. It's an overview on all the winners we had this year in 2018. It's in English, so it will be it's good point. It will show you some examples of what is a Blue Ocean strategy result. So let me just share my the sound, the audio. Okay. Okay, let me know if you cannot hear the audio, if it works. No. So maybe first I would like to ask you if you have already heard about one or some of these companies. You have just been introduced here too, and if you know about Blue Ocean strategy, and if yes, what do you know about these companies or about Blue Ocean strategy methodology or mindset? Want to interact, want to react? Don't be shy, please. Have some of you already heard about these companies and about Blue Ocean strategy? Who want to say something? You need to unmute first if you want to talk.
Alban.
Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Harabi Mutane. I'm a student in UNISA.
Yeah, hi Harabi.
I'm not sure if I got your question correctly, but
we cannot hear you very well. Sorry.
This is the first time I see the companies.
Sorry, Harabi, your audio is bad. There is some noise. Sorry. You can try to fix your microphone and come back and start and try again later.
Hello, Alban.
Yes, yes.
My name is Simpo.
Hi, Simpo.
Yes, it's the first time I hear about Blue Ocean, so there's nothing I can say I can add on that.
Okay, it's a big discovery for you. You've never heard about Blue Ocean strategy at all?
Not at all.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So,
but it's good for me to learn.
Yeah, sure. There's someone in the group. We are now around. We are 32 people now. Is there someone who has heard about Blue Ocean strategy before? No? Okay, so...
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a course in strategy at Halabi again, and I had an opportunity to be introduced to Blue Ocean strategy.
Maybe, yeah, Kalabi, we cannot hear you. Your Kalabi, your microphone is not working fine, it seems. There is a problem. Maybe you can write on the chat and I will read it, okay? You can write what you want to say and I will read it. Okay, so nobody else want to react on Blue Ocean strategy, what you know about it, what you heard, if you have read the book or... Okay, okay, a lot seems to discover. Okay, it's nice. Okay, Kalabi, we wait for your testimony in the chat, and I will read it. Okay. So, yeah, just you can see here the key partners, some of the key partners and sponsors of the Blue Ocean Awards. We have quite every year, they renew every year. So in the Blue Ocean Awards, as you understand, it's an event where, as I said, we put on the stage and we detect. We are able to detect about 3 years before I would say the classical investors were able to detect new market creation companies who will be able to overperform on their market because of their Blue Ocean strategy. And And in this Blue Ocean Award jury, because there are juries, you will try this jury if you are winners of the Inter-University Innovation Challenge. You will be able to pitch in front of the first South African Blue Ocean Award jury in February. And you will be, the jury will value your offering, will value your project through these 7 criteria. There are the 7 criteria defining a Blue Ocean strategy and to validate it, if you to show, to understand if your offering is creating a new market or not. So we will come back on this criteria later, but just to let you know, they exist and we use them. They account for 80% of the final valuation of the finalist every year. So the bootcamp, the virtual bootcamp, we propose to have with you, with all of you, in this innovation challenge, in this Inter-University Innovation Challenge. It's based on 3 sessions. The first session is today, on Saturday from 6 to from 9 to 6 from 9 p.m. from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It will be the second session, and the last session will be on Sunday, same time, 9 to 6. And as you can see, it's connected to the Blue Ocean Awards we will organize in February 2021. Because as I told you, in November, we will have the result of this Inter-University Challenge, and you will have 4 winners, 1 per topic, transport, waste, energy, and revenue collection. And these 4 teams, these 4 binomes winning, will be invited, as Mathieu said, they will be invited to join in February the jury and to pitch in front of the jury of the first South African Blue Ocean Awards during this 7th edition we will have worldwide of the Blue Ocean Awards. They will be live on YouTube. They will be in Paris, Bordeaux, Lyon, and Pretoria. We are very proud of that. And they will take place in the residence of the French ambassador. So that's why also we need to give you today and during the next session to give you the principles and to support you in using the Blue Ocean strategy tools to be ready to create this new market. So what are the Blue Ocean strategy principles? Maybe you had a look because we shared some days ago, we shared the document with your universities, and normally they share this document with you. It was an introduction, so and some slides you can find them here again. As I said, Blue Ocean strategy, it's based on a very robust foundation from 2 teachers. They are teachers and researchers. Chan Kim is Korean, and René Maubonne, she's American. They both work in the INSEAD. INSEAD, it's a French, very famous MBA, and they have developed from in the 2000. They have developed this value innovation concept. Value innovation, it's coming from around 150 cases they have analyzed from around 30 industries, and they found points in common, very important key points in common. And these key points, it gave the basics, the principles of the value innovation. They make this understanding that some companies are able to overperform compared to their market because they are able to bring a new value to their market. And in bringing a very different value, they are able to create a new market. And when they create this new market, we call this new market a blue ocean, they are able to go out, to go far from the competition. And they are not facing competition anymore. It's very interesting because when you don't face competition, you are the king. You are able to define the price, to define, you are the biggest as possible market share. So, but when you do that, after some times, of course, the competitors watching you on this new market, they will join you, but you will have this time to succeed. You will be the first on the market, on the new market. You will be the creator of this new market, and being a creator of a new market, it gives you a very big advantage. Because you are in the head of the consumers, you are the first, so you have time in advance. And this time in advance, it's always the same in innovation. It's just a question of time. This time of advance, it gives you the time to be ready for the next innovation, because it's always a blue ocean, then becoming red, and then a new blue ocean to find with a new innovation. So it's a process, okay? But a startup, when a startup is able to find the blue ocean, a market where there is nobody and where you are the king to define all the rules, it gives very big power, very big push to your data, to your revenues, to your profitability, to everything, and it makes you become a real big project. So yeah, I didn't say, but yeah, Blue Ocean Strategy, sorry, is a book written by Chan Kim and René Mauborgne. There are two books. First books in 2002 is about the principles and about Blue Ocean strategies from the past, from the history. And the second book, published in 2017, is about, the name is Blue Ocean Shift, and this book is about the process, or which process you should follow. It's called the Blue Ocean Shift process, which process you should follow to be able to create your own Blue Ocean, your own market. And in this book, it's very interesting book, this Blue Ocean Shift, because this book it gives you also examples of a Blue Ocean strategy conducted between the first and the second books. So first book is about the history, and the second book is about real implementation with testimonies of companies, public organizations who have really followed this Blue Ocean strategy. And in Blue Ocean Wars, it's also a complement because it gives you startups. It's more startup oriented. And all these winners, all these Blue Ocean Wars winners, rewarded, they have followed this Blue Ocean strategy. Here we have the testimony from Calabi in the chat. He said, Blue Ocean theory is about creating a new product that serves a market where big companies are not operating and the competition is very low. Yeah, it's almost exactly what we're saying. It's not only about where big companies are not. It's about no companies. It's about nobody. It's about being the first to find a new market space where nobody is present, big or small companies included. You will be the first to take this advantage, to take this profitability. So here, if we give you some summary, an overview about comparison between Red Ocean strategy, so the classical business strategy. In this classical business strategy, it's mostly based on porter forces. And the Blue Ocean strategy, you can see here the big differences. In terms of industry, we are not competing with existing market, but we want to create a new market where there is nobody. In terms of strategy, your strategy in Blue Ocean strategy is not about beating or fighting the competition. You don't have a look on the competitors and understand what they are doing. No, you don't care about competitors. You put them on the back, and you just want to make all these competitors totally irrelevant. About market, you are not focusing on existing demand, existing consumers in the market. You want to create and capture a new demand. That's why you are creating a new market. You will be able to find and to add a big part of new consumers, people who were not consumers in this industry. You bring them to you and you create a new market with this creation of the new demand. In terms of resources, your objective in Blue Ocean strategy is not to make always this trade-off between value or cost. I want to propose higher value, but I will have to improve my cost. No, you break that rule, and you are in the value rule. You will proceed to differentiation and low cost in the same time, simultaneously. Simultaneously, you will be proposing a new value, very different from the standard offering on your market, and you will be reducing the cost in the same time. And reducing the cost will help you to propose a new value. You will see, I will show you that later. In terms of offering, classically in Red Ocean strategy, all the companies has to be, all the activities, it's about making a choice between differentiation and low cost. In Blue Ocean strategy, your objective is to do the same in the same time, is to do the both in the same time, to differentiate and reducing your cost. Here you can see this. I think you know what it is. It's a gaming console. The name is Wii, very famous, very classical. Now you have the Wii Switch, the portable version of this console. Nintendo, the owner of the Wii, Nintendo has created a new market when they launched the Wii, this gaming console. First, because they have taken interest, they made a focus on their non-customers of their industry. And secondly, because they were able to pursue simultaneously this low cost and differentiation approach, this dual approach. When you do that, when you reduce cost and you focus on value, it's the best way to create a very high level of differentiation. And it's what we call value innovation. It's exactly the purpose of Blue Ocean strategy. If we have a look on the non-customers identified by Nintendo to create the Wii offering, at this time in 2006, the Wii was launched in 2006. In 2006, the gaming console market have a lot of non-customers. You have the first cycle, it's what we call the 2B non-customers. They are non-customers leaving the market. They were customers in the past, but you see them less and less often, and they are leaving the market. For Nintendo, for the Wii, the gaming console, it's men becoming a father. They play less and less hard gaming. They play less and less on the console. Second kind of non-customers, it's what we call the anti non-customer. They are against the offering, the standard offering. There are people who reject the console, the gaming console and the gaming experience. their parents, their teachers, educators, and active or sportly teenagers, because they consider that at this time in 2006, doing sport, being active, it's antinomic to play on the gaming console. And the third cycle, it's what we call the unexplored. This unexplored, they are they are non-customers you never see. This they are the people who are totally out of the industry. For instance, in the gaming console, there are at this in 2006, there are the women, the children, the senior, all people who never play and they are never played in their life gaming console. So feel free to interrupt me if you have questions, of course. You have also the chat. You can send me messages on the chat. So if we sum up here, these three circles of non-customers to be able to find your new market, they are the to be, the anti, and the non-explored, or unexplored. Here you can see what we call the strategic canvas. Strategic canvas, it's the first tool developed by Chen Kim and Moborn. It's a very visual tool to be able to have an overview of the competition, but in terms of value with the offerings currently present on the market. So if you take this overview and you analyze your competitors in terms of value, you will take the seat of the consumer, and you will understand what are the criteria, the selection criteria, why the consumer select this offering or this offering. It's based always on a trade-off, an analysis of the value, and each consumer has their own criteria, but you can find in a market maybe 6, 8 criteria they have in common, and it's always the same. And in a red ocean especially, the competitors, they always put on the stage the same criteria. So for instance, if you draw here the strategic canvas of in 2006 for the home gaming console market, you will see here for the PlayStation or Xbox or any other console, it will be very high value proposed to the consumer in terms of hard gaming, or in terms of licenses, realism, power, the power, audio, power in terms of CPU for the console, the machine power. But it will be very low in terms of friendliness, fun I can have with any of my friends, and also in terms of community, online community. In 2006, it was very low, not yet developed for the gaming console. So, and if you draw this curve, this value curve for each offerings for PlayStation or for Xbox, you will see they have almost the same level on each of this same criteria. We call them key elements. Sorry, it's in French. So it's typical from a red ocean. On the red ocean, the offerings currently proposed on the market, they are all the same. They are very close in terms of value. And here we can see on this market in 2006, the difference from one console to another console, it's only based on the age of the console. If the console is recent, they will be very high on all these criteria, always the same, and the price will be following this level. It will be the price will always be proportional to the value. It's also a typical point we find on Red Ocean. And we have the Wii with Nintendo. Nintendo decided to implement a Blue Ocean strategy to define the Wii, to build the Wii offering. So they are to eliminate, reduce first. It's a low-cost approach I was mentioning before, and they were able to raise and to create. It's what we call the 4 actions, the 4 action matrix. When you do a Blue Ocean strategy, you always have these actions on the standard offering. Standard offering is the current offering already on the market. And you have to differentiate, very highly differentiate compared to this offering. You have to diverge, what we call divergence. Your offer has to be, your offering has to be divergent compared to the standard offering. And to do that, it's you have to follow these 4 actions. Eliminate, you delete, you eliminate standards, a lot of features of standards all your competitors propose already, and you decide to not do that. Reduce, it's about reduce and raise. It's about, I would say, classical differentiation. So you make the points moving. And creation, it's really market creation. It's it's some elements in your offering. You are the only one to propose. Only your offering, when you start on the market, only your offering is able to propose this these elements of value. I will show you some examples, and we have some interactive understanding on that. So low cost and differentiation. Low cost, reduce, eliminate. Differentiation, raise or reduce, and create. So for the Wii, Nintendo decided to eliminate all about hard gaming. In 2006, it was a big challenge because all the consoles were based on hard gaming value proposition. So they eliminated. You can see in the Wii with the sport with Wii Sport bundle, you have no reference to any gameplay, movie-like cinematic evolution of the character. Nothing about hard gaming. They've also eliminated all the gaming expertise, and they have reduced realism, power of the console, audio, graphic, and licenses. They've almost eliminated the licenses at the beginning. And being able to have this low-cost approach, it makes you able to raise on what is important for your non-customers you want to reach and create. So you are able to create and raise because you have made this choice to eliminate and reduce before. So raise, it's in the case for the Wii, it's about fun, conviviality with friends, family, and your online community. It's really raised, it's increased. And create is what is defining uniquely. It's what is unique in the Wii value proposal. It's the playability, natural playability. You know, with the Wiimote, you can play with all your body. You don't need to know the code and interaction with all your body, including the Wii Fit. Wii Fit, you know, it's a connected balance, where you can do some fitness, but with the gaming platform. When we draw this, here you recognize in red the traditional gaming console value curve as we have seen before with in 2006 Xbox and Sony PlayStation. And we enter the market with Nintendo enters the market with the Wii, and it's eliminate here this hard gaming expertise. It reduce license, realism, power, and it raise about all the elements about fun, conviviality, online community, and it creates this intuitive, natural playing, interaction with everybody. And I do sport when I play. It's doing sport when you play. It's also one created elements with the Wii, especially with the Wii Fit. And you see here visually, you can see visually the divergence phenomenon principle with these value curves in blue, totally antinomic to the red standard offering. Okay, it's the objective. The objective of a blue ocean strategy is to be able to do that, to find these blue curves, to be able to diverge compared to the standard offering. And simplicity, low cost simplicity, you find it everywhere in a blue ocean offering, and including here for the Wii, you can see Xbox, PlayStation, it's a lot of price, a lot of bundles, a lot of different version. In Nintendo, when they launched the Wii, it's only one price, one choice, one bundle, nothing else. In terms of result, here you can see the previous console of Nintendo in terms of sales, and the Wii here pumping up in 2006. The explosion in 2006. They have sold after 3 years. 3 years after the launch, they have sold more than 100 million consoles in the world. It's the biggest. It's the biggest success in the history of the gaming console. So, if we make a pause here and summarize, we can see and we can discover another key tool in the blue ocean strategy, and here it's a deliverable. It's what we call the blue ocean matrix. We have created this tool for the Blue Ocean Awards in 2014, and each finalist present this matrix to the jury. So it will be one of the key deliverables we will have during this 3-day session. You can recognize here the red ocean standard offering we want to diverge compared to, what we eliminate, what we reduce, what we raise, what we have created in terms of value, which non-consumers, non-users we want to reach. So it will be this market creation, because they will come, they will they will come back to this, or come for the first time to this industry, and they make you able to create a new market bigger than the previous one. What is this market potential? Which figures we can put on these non-users, on these consumers too? Because in the blue ocean strategy, you don't make a focus only on the non-consumers. You want to reveal unknown issues and dreams, unknown insight you cannot find with the consumers. If you only have a look on the consumers, you will not be able to reveal new potential in new pain points or dreams or waitings they have. Only the non-customers will tell you exactly what is important, because they will make you focus on a very strong way. Consumers, they usually are happy with the current offering, so they will not be strong. They will not be radical enough. If you have a look on the non-consumers, they will teach you a lot about what is really missing in this market, in this offering? What is a very big pain point, or you could change this offering radically? And you have also this blue ocean matrix, the value proposal and the identity of your offering. So here I was referring to the BlueScore, this 7 indicators, 7 criteria we have to identify and to validate the blue ocean strategy. It's directly taken from the matrix. You have the correspondence here between the matrix and the scoring, or we can I will now show you some examples. It will be interactive. I will show you a very interesting example taken from the winners of the Blue Ocean Awards. I think it was in 2016, I think 2016. It's about tourism. I will show you first a video, and please be aware, be concentrate on this video, because then we'll interact and we'll have what we call a Kahoot session. So you will need your mobile phone, or computer, it works too, but it's more easy with the mobile phone. And it will be like an online poll, interactive game, you see. I will tell you more just after this. So concentrate on this video. It's in English. So I will introduce this case to you. The vintage ride. Vintage rides, it's a new way to travel. They have created a blue ocean in the adventure tourism industry. They have proposed a very new offering, totally divergent compared to the standard offering on this market. So they propose you to any tourist, even if you have never been on a motorbike, they propose you to discover wide part of the countries on a motorbike. And it's a Royal Enfield. I don't know if you know this kind of motorbike, but it's a motorbike you can use everywhere. It can go anywhere, and you are feeling like a biker discovering the world in very wide areas, and going back to the roots, I would say, to the roots of the adventure. They cover a lot of countries to be discovered. So I will show you here this video. You will know more about it. Okay, start again. Okay, let me know if it will be not working.
It all started with a simple question. I mean, let's be honest. In a world where the roads are made so that you can't get lost, is there still an option for adventure? So our idea was simple. We wanted to get off the beaten tracks. I guess we had everything to make it happen. Good bikes, good guys, and the same obsession in mind. Discover the untouched beauty of South Africa. course, it wasn't easy. We took our wheels above the hills, from mud to clouds. It took us time. And then, one day, there it was, right in front of us. The brutal nature of this country. As John Burroughs once said, the kingdom of heaven is not a place, but a state of mind. The one you dream about as a kid. The one that brings bikers together, sharing their loneliness in an endless ride. And if you are patient enough, nature will give it all back to you. Motorcycle trips don't need to be talked about. They're made to be shared.
Voila. Thank you.
Meeting people, the wind skimming your face, and the hope it never ends. At the end, we had our answer. If you're still able to dream, you will find your wild escape.
Voilà. Donc, here it is. It's a nice movie. I hope you enjoyed it. So now I hope you will be. You have been concentrate, and now we will ask question and interact on trying to understand this Blue Ocean strategy, this offering. What have they reduced? What have they created? So I propose you to go on this site, kahoot.it, with your mobile phone, ideally with your mobile phone. If you don't have a mobile phone connected to internet or smartphone, you can use your computer on another window, but you will have to be able to see the both window, my window on Zoom and your internet and the internet site. Okay, because on this site with your computer or with your mobile phone, ideally, it will be like a remote where you choose your answer. It's like a game, an interactive game with question and answer. Okay, so I let you connect on this site, kahoot.it, and they will ask you for a PIN code. I will provide it to you. Okay, here is the PIN code. Here's the PIN code. You have to type on kahoot.it, and then they will ask you for a name, your player name. And when you are connected, you will see your name here, like Camus, Oti. You will see your name appearing here on the screen. Okay. If you encounter some issues, please let me know by chat. And as I said, you can also use your computer on another screen, another window. Okay, normally we should have, now we are 32. Okay, now we have 14, 15. So we'll wait a little of time to have everybody on board. We have now 19 players. We are still missing around 10 players. Okay, if you, okay, 20, we'll start soon. If you cannot connect, I don't know, maybe there are some, you can have, you could encounter some issues, connection issues. Don't worry, you can also interact on the chat. You can give your answer on the chat, and I will say your answer. Where's my voice? Okay, 22 players. 23. Okay, we'll start. Okay, we'll start. It's okay, 25. Okay, it's great. It's good. Okay, if you were not able to connect now, please interact with the chat, and you can take part through the chat. Okay, let's start. So first question, see it's quiz. First question, on which industry Vintage Rides has created a blue ocean strategy? Has created a blue ocean with this offering. Is it leisure and entertainment, hospitality and accommodation? So you know, you type on the color on your mobile phone screen, you type on the color for your answer. Or motorcycling, hospitality, yeah. So we have mostly, yeah, it's adventure tourism, as we said, because it's not motorcycling, because yeah, most of you told that. No, their industry, it's about selling tourism. They have tourists joining them to discover a country with this special offering with a motorcycle, but they don't sell the motorcycles. Motorcycles are just a tool. So the industry where they have created a blue ocean is clearly the adventure tourism. Next question. So here you have, a ranking. It takes into account your time to answer, your number of good answers, and so on. So next question. So it's multi-selection. You need to select several answers. So compared to the standard offering, which elements Vintage Rides has eliminated? So compared to adventure tourism, classical adventure tourism, what Vintage Rides has eliminated from his offering? Is there the visit in minibus, the risk, the stay at the hotel, the visa requirements? So classically, you see tourism offering, yeah. So most of you have the right answer. They don't eliminate the risk, and maybe they increase a little, I don't know. But they eliminate the classical, I would say, transport you have in any tourism, so minibus or car rental or things like that. And they eliminate also staying at the hotel. Usually when you are a tourist, you can stay a long time at the hotel waiting for some attractions or acting for leisure. But here with Vintage Rise, you are never in contact with an hotel. They have eliminated the hotel because you stay you live on your motorbike. They have support following you, like a caravan. So you do like luxury camping. You go for camping with your motorbike. Never visit an hotel. So we have Calabi is first, and Jeffrey, Penang, GT, and Kumo was the first rank. Next question. Multi-selection. Also, compared to the standard of rings tourism, which elements Vintage Rise has reduced? What are they? Which value elements they have reduced when you compare to classical adventure tourism? Is there the number of tourists you have around you in red, in blue the trip duration, in green the adrenaline, and in yellow the discovering culture? What have they reduced? So tourists around me, yeah, and adrenaline a little, yeah. A lot of you said trip duration. No, in fact, people will stay the same time. People will stay the same time during this Vintage Rise session. They will be at around 10 days, I think, 10 days trip. So it's the same trip duration, but they reduce clearly tourists around you because you are alone on your bike with a group of bikers discovering the untouched beauty of the nature, as they say. And they reduce a little the adrenaline compared to classical adventure tourism because you have most of the adventure tourism expeditions are sometimes really adventure, and sometimes it can be afraid, can be dangerous. So adrenaline is reduced. Clearly, they address more, I would say, 30, 40 years old tourists, not very young. So we have Jeffrey back the first place. Then Calabi is still here, and Penang, GD, and GT. Next question. Compared to the standard of ring, which elements Vintage Rise has raised? So what they do better compared to the classical adventure tourism? Is it the feeling of freedom, feeling of luxury in blue, interaction intensity with the local people and within the group in yellow, and or is it the price in green? 18 answers. Yeah, the time is short. Yeah. So good answer. Yeah, mostly feeling of freedom. Of course, you are alone in the nature with your bike and discovering. Yes, a big feeling of freedom compared to classical tourism. And interaction intensity, because when you have this way of transport and you discover a country, going to a very far part of the country, very untouched part of the country, you will create a link very new, very different, not superficial link with local people and within the group with the other participants. Feeling of luxury, no, it's not raised. It's maybe reduced because you are always on camping, doing camping, and you are on a motorbike. It's not very luxury. Price, no, price is it's quite the same compared to adventure tourism. So we have Jeffrey still the first, Penang, GD, Calabi, and Joban in the top of the podium. Next question. It's compared to the standard offering, which element Vintage Rise has created, what is unique, which elements in the offerings is unique compared to classical tourism. Is it I join a biker community, feeling strong emotions, having fun, or I live new experience? So and it will define exactly precisely the offering. So mostly is I join a biker community. I live a new experience. It can be, but it's not precise enough. This new experience is because it's the way. It's because I joined a biker community. This is this experience, joining a biker community, and it's very unique. You cannot find in all the adventure tourism offerings, you never find another offering proposing a competitor proposing this unique element. But living a new experience, yes, a lot of them propose new experiences, sometimes the same. They will propose the same sometimes, but it is very, what we created in a Blue Ocean offering, it's unique. You are the only one to propose it. So last result, we have Jeffrey. Jeffrey is our is your winner. It's our winner, Joben and Penang. So congrats to you and JD and La back in the game. So big congratulations to all of you. And the last question, by which non-customers Vintage Rise has been inspired? So which non-customers they address specifically with this offering? The people against the mainstream touristic places, the riders, the less young adventurers, 30, 40 years old, the people willing non-standard vacation in yellow. It's a multi-answer, multi-selection answer. So here, yeah, it's all this. They are all non-customers. Because some of them are, as you understand, unexplored. Some of them are to be non-customer, and some of them are anti. For instance, riders, they are clearly anti the classical adventure tourism offering. They could not find what they want. The same here against mainstream touristic places. A lot of tourists don't want to follow classical tour operator, classical offerings, because they are off of these touristic places, so crowded. So they want to be alone with a new experience, unique experience. And non-standard vacation, yeah, it's a very big trend on this market to have a new experience. And less young adventurers, they are a big part of the market, and with some values, and they want something new. So, but not too much risky. So finally, the podium. Third is Joben. Congrats, Joben. You're third place. Nla, second. Wow, it's a big rush. And the first one is Jeffrey. So congrats to Jeffrey. And then we have JD and Penang. So it's funny. I hope you enjoy this session here. So do you have some question about this case, this Vintage Rise case? No? Okay, so we continue. So here you can see all what we have already seen. It's the matrix, the Blue Ocean matrix of Vintage Rides. So this value proposal, you can see it's vintage, slow, speed ride in authentic parts of the world. And it's very connected to the created part. I joined a biker community. And they've eliminated really standards of this standard of the market. Visit in minibus, cars, staying at the hotel. Maybe the hotels have eliminated too. They have reduced adrenaline, touristic visit. And they have a little raised the price and feeling of freedom, interaction, intercity. So this market, this industry, adventure tourism in the world, based on Allied Markets research, it's valued $600 billion. And this vintage rise, they have created a $500 billion with all these non-customers they have addressed, they have reached. So here you can see in terms of value curves, the standard offering here, adrenaline very high, staying in the hotel, minibus and so on, touristic visit and so on. And vintage rides arrive on this market in 2015 and say, okay, we'll eliminate this hotel, this minibus, we'll reduce and raise this and that, raise the price and create this biker community feeling mindset to discover untouched place. In terms of figures, here you can see adventure tourism market value. But it was before the COVID, this research. So I think it has changed with the COVID. But the global adventure tourism market was valued around $600 billion and projected to 1,600 billion in 2026, and mostly because of this part here in blue. This is soft adventure tourism. And clearly vintage rides is a big, took a big part of that. It's the market creation is clearly on this big potential. The soft adventure tourism. So here we have started 2 hours ago. I propose if you want, we can you can ask question and then we'll do a pause, maybe 10 minutes pause, 10-15 minutes pause. And I will continue after this pause with example of winners of the Blue Ocean Awards directly on your industry, on your 4 fields. So transport, waste, and so on. So to give you some inspiration. But first, do you have some question? Please feel free to interact, to ask your questions on the chat if you are shy. Yes, Lamulo Mutileni, you raise hand. Yeah, hi.
I have a question on the blue ocean thinking in terms of the blue ocean landscape. So what I'm wondering, is it about discovering a completely untapped industry, or is it about discovering an untapped value chain within an industry? That one.
Good question.
Yeah, I'm done. Thanks.
Yeah, clearly it's about discovering a new market connected to your industry, but untouched, unrevealed market for now. Like vintage rides. Before vintage rides, this market of this soft adventure tourism, where you can discover, or when you can discover a country like a biker, or when you think about 2006, before the Wii was launched by Nintendo, this gaming console where everybody can play only moving your hands, and it didn't exist. There is before and after, and that's why Blue Ocean strategy is very powerful, and it creates very big profitability, big growth, and so on. It's because you have a very big impact on the industry. And to do that, you have to find something new, something was in the industry, a market space, a blue ocean space in the industry where you will be the first to take your position here. Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Other question before the pause? No other question, just one question. You are 30 participants. Please interact with me. Ask me question, please.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Hi, Joben.
Good. I was just wondering, with the Blue Ocean's mode of thinking and things, how much, I don't know how to put it, but when an entrepreneur usually runs a business, they're full hands on it.
Yeah.
Because they dedicate all their time to it. And I understand why, because it's very important that it grows in that first phase. But are there any ways to, I don't know, grow the business with a minimal time expenditure, if that makes sense?
You mean if it is possible to grow a big business? If I understand right your question, let me reformulate. You mean, is it possible to create a big business without doing nothing?
I'm not doing nothing at all. But for example,
with a few implication, with a few.
Yes, sort of leading a team.
Being
and
a
letting
manager,
the team
being
do
a
most
manager
of it.
in charge of the. I can give you two answers. I can give you the big group answer, manager in a big company, and I can give you the startup or entrepreneur answer. Which one you prefer?
I suppose both would help.
In fact, Blue Ocean strategy, as you understand, it's used by big companies as well as startups, entrepreneurs. My vision is as the most you are implicated, the most you are acting in your business, in your own project, the best it is and the biggest and fastest result you will get. And value for you, because when you are you create a company, when you an entrepreneur, you get 100 or 50% of the company. It's owned by you. When you are a manager, managing companies, managing people in a company, the company is not yours. Have a look on the owners of even big companies. They will be always implicated. Elon Musk, have a look. He's managing very high value companies. He's very, very implied, even if it's very big companies. So it depends on which value you want to get for you, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. Are there other questions? We have the pause now.
I have a question about
Labi? Yeah.
So with Blue Ocean, I just want to make sure you can in pursuing the Blue Ocean, you can either do differentiation, right, and explore non-customers and still keep the same price as the market.
Yeah, the price is a good question.
Is it always the case? Yeah.
Your question is only about the price?
It has to be.
Sorry. Your question is only about the price?
Yeah,
or?
Is it?
Yeah, price is a good point.
Yeah, is it the price or differentiation together, or you can have the price which is still the same but differentiate and explore the new non-customers?
Yeah. In fact, the price is the only tool, the only leverage your competitors are using. On the red ocean, the classical red ocean, where you have a lot of competitors with the same offering, standard offering, they make differentiation based only on the price, value, and price. If you pay a high price, you will have bigger value. If you pay less, you will have less value. It's always that. It's always this trade-off between value and cost. In Blue Ocean, we break this rule. We consider that it's possible, even if you reduce the cost with this low-cost approach, it's in reducing the cost that you are able to find a new value and propose exactly the value your market is looking for. So to answer also your second part of the question about non-customers, yeah, in fact, non-customer will be a support for you, a very big support to reveal what is hidden in the market in terms of issues, big issues and dreams and pain points and what the market is really want. And it will, in having interviews and having interactions with the non-customers, they will show you very easily, because they are on radical position, they are out, they don't use, or they are against the offering. They will give you very clear guidelines to find this new value, to find which offering you should propose. But you're totally right to make a focus on that. Your offering, your Blue Ocean offering, will be not only dedicated to non-customers. It will be also addressing 80% of the customers of the current industry. It's not niche, what we call niche strategy. It's not premium, or you don't make only a focus on non-customers. Your objective is to address the maximum of the market, bringing back the non-customers. You see, so it's mass market. Your objective is to be totally mass market, being inspired by the non-customer experience. Does it answer your question? Kalabi? Yeah.
I'm still kind of confused when it comes to price. So the question around price is...
sorry, we cannot hear you.
Are there cases whereby...
Kalabi, your microphone is down. It's not working fine. Maybe you can write. Yeah.
This is Isaiah. Maybe just while Sankalabi is sorting out his microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's been insightful. I thought maybe let me also just chip in for a minute, if you don't mind, because I was just thinking that perhaps that there was one example that I tried to write up in South Africa around the tuk-tuk industry. You know, tuk-tuk, it's those three-wheelers to transport people.
Yeah, tuk-tuk.
And I thought maybe just to say to everyone, actually as a community in Pretoria, most that study at UP would know, it's called Easter's. It's a community of around, it's got, I don't know, at least over 100,000 community members. And students would know that generally taxis would go in the community, but it's got a very set route. It doesn't allow any flexibility for people actually to go to shops, etc., within the community. So quite interestingly, Alban, what I realized with this one is that before this project started, these tuk-tuk, some call it tuk-tuk, it's a three-wheeler, and I think it can seat 3 people. Someone then saw the opportunity to say, within the community, I can use these tuk-tuks actually to transport people. Some of the students on the platform might have seen it in other communities as well. What's interesting, if you reverse engineer the model that led to that industry, it could be summarized as follow, to say, if we look at the 4 areas that you spoke about, what have they raised, reduced, eliminated, or created? In the case of the tuk-tuk industry, what they've created was to have flexible routes. In other words, if you stay in the community and you want to go to the supermarket or to the church, you can just get a tuk-tuk and it will take you there. And it's aligned into your personal route. So there was a level of coolness with it. So that's what they actually elevated, personalized route instead of this fixed route.
Yeah, exactly.
What they then decreased was travel time, because there was only taxis on a fixed route. So you would hop off at a point and you find that you still have to walk for 10 minutes home. With a tuk-tuk, it was quicker travel time, less travel time. So they reduced the time that people had to walk within the community. The third element, what did they create? They created a WhatsApp group where when you're at home, you just send a WhatsApp and this tuk-tuk come and picks you up. And they had a set price of 10 Rand. Now it's interesting, I mean, in responding to some of these questions, it's almost reconstructing your market and your offering so that you can access non-customers. What started to happen in this community was that people that never use taxis because the route is now in any case too far started using these tuk-tuks. People went to shops, to church, and this whole industry emerged within a community. Some of the states was quite interesting because thousands of people became customers, and most of them come from the non-customer grouping. And when I did this assessment last year, it created over 200 jobs within the community, over 200 drivers with their tuk-tuks. It created an industry with new business owners that on average made around 300 Rand a day. And those were people that were not working. Then a further emergence was quite interesting. People then start to come in and sell parts and tires. There's even a tuk-tuk car wash. and remember, all of these things never existed, but the tuk-tuk exists before, but the application was different. And I think that's just one example of a blue ocean model was then used to reconstruct a market and an offering, and then drew thousands of non-customers and creating new businesses and new opportunities within one community. Alban, I thought
clearly, it's very interesting. Yeah, very relevant example. Yeah, and tuk-tuk also, it has reduced, for instance, the comfort on board is not the same as in a car.
Yes.
But it's reduced. You accept to reduce that to be point to point traveled, transported, and to be on time, to be It's exactly a good example. We have a question also by Tato S. You raise your hand, Tato S. Tato? No. We had Tato S. Are you still here? You raised your hand, so I thought you wanted to interact. We have also M4 Lensway on the chat. He said, based on Blue Ocean strategy, how do one go about creating a value proposition of the product without any customer? So I think you have maybe some elements of answering now, M4, because as we said, non-customers will be will give you some inspiration to understand what is missing, what the industry is missing. They will give you radically the answer. It will be very clear. But customer, you still consider them. You still want to be to have them as client of your offering, of course. So your offering will be mass market. You will address new customers coming from this non-customer from the industry, and also current customers. With the Wii, Nintendo with the Wii, they were interested. They were interesting also for classical gamers, because they could play with their children. They could play. They could discover what is gaming to their child and so on. M4, is it okay? You are here. Does it answer your question, M4?
Yes, it does. It does answer my question.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And Isaiah has elaborated it further with this critical example.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Alban,
yeah.
This is Isaiah. I was just wondering, at some point, I don't know now or later, but you'll decide, if we can perhaps just take a group photo with all the cameras on Zoom, because at some point,
the point is nobody show his head. We have only we don't have a lot of yeah, maybe we can, yeah, okay, I can take a picture. Yeah, it's a good idea.
So all cameras have to be on now.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
Put, hope you will not be disconnected. Let me just take the tool. Here it is. Yeah, if you can appear now on the camera, everybody. Yeah, we have 2 pages, so we will do proceed in 2 times. One here